Hello everyone, and welcome to the first devlog of
Monsta Choppa.
my cool new VR game. Currently a very big work in progress, but I want to start doing these devlogs hopefully once a week to kind of show off the whole process and keep myself accountable. So for this one I'm just going to go through the kind of basic introduction, what the game is, what I'm aiming for, what these devlogs will be like, and some of what I've done so far. So I started working on this just before Christmas, about 2 weeks into it now. Originally this was meant to just be a learning project, as I just kind of wanted to mess around with VR and see how it worked. So I know VR, I think the best games in VR are very casual, nothing crazy in depth, so it's just going to be kind of arcadey fantasy slasher, where you kind of jump into different maps, play around, maybe 10 15 minutes around, and then put it down. Just something that's very easy to just pick up and play and kind of scratch that itch of just wanting to kill some monsters in VR. So one of the most important things I've learned about VR is optimization, and I definitely went down the rabbit hole with that. I picked up a lot of cool techniques, found some really cool assets. I'm using Bakery and volumetric lights, which are two very popular assets on the Unity store. I picked up for a very nice price over the Christmas and New Year sales. And I'm using these cool Cinti assets, which I picked up in a Humble Bundle last year for a very good price, only like €30 for some very cool stuff. So the kind of layout of this hub, which is the central point of the game, is you have this main entrance to the whole area, and this main zone is kind of like a drinking hall, because I'm going for that kind of underground dungeon cave aesthetic, with this cool kind of green ambient lighting and some fog. And it's very empty now. Maybe I'll get NPCs in here at some point, maybe some interactions and cool little things to do to pass the time, maybe some mini games, but for now it's a bit empty. But I do have this cool little statue and gem spot with this basic UI at the moment, but this will be where you can kind of buy upgrades, access some panels in this cool little room with some diamonds around the place. Then behind here, this is kind of like the armory treasury space, so as I kind of develop weapons and armor or whatever, that'll be in here, and you can kind of mess around and equip your character with whatever, and maybe like kind of store your prizes and gifts, so that'll all be stored here. And then down here, this is kind of like you go through, you could ignore the test enemy for now, but this is kind of like the portal room, so this is where you access different maps. So I'll have like, there'll be cool lighting around, and there'll be portals around here where you kind of access the main game. And I'm hoping to have maybe 4 or 5 different portals, but there'll be 3 options. So like daytime will be kind of like the easy version of they're more like arenas. Evening will be a bit harder, and then there'll be nighttime versions where it's kind of like nightmare difficulty, where I'll have cool lighting, harder monsters, etc. So that's like the main game loop will be here in this portal room. Now the gameplay loop itself, it's going to be very simple. Nothing crazy, no blade and sorcery, fancy physics, you know, spells casting, whatever. Just very simple slasher gameplay with an axe, sword, maybe a shield or whatever. But it'll be like a wave defense against orcs, skeletons, other monsters that attack you, and you just try to survive. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do progression. I might go full roguelike, where you kind of get XP and level up inside the arena itself. Or I might go down the route of you just kind of, when you're fighting, maybe there's some small upgrades around the place, but it's mainly to do, you get gold, you get XP, then you come back to the hub, and in the hub, you can buy more permanent upgrades and items, etc. So how I'm going to go about these devlogs is I do have a lot more done already, but I don't want to show everything off in one video and make it like half an hour long. I want to try to keep these around, 6 to 8 minutes. Keep them snappy, not boring, and easy to watch for you, for everybody. The combat progress, right now, I've got like the boring stuff done. Like I have object pooling done well, and cool little optimization tricks. But for now, I just have a static enemy here, and I can pick up my axe and you can kill him, and you'll have hit effects, the health bar effects, and there is some sound playing. So what I'm going to try aim for in the release is I want to try work on this for maybe 3 months maximum-ish. We'll see how it goes. But I've got a lot of the very boring groundwork stuff done, like optimization, architecture, system design, and it does run really well on my Quest 2, which I'll show off in future videos. But I kind of want to release on the Quest store and itch. Not sure about Steam, because that costs money. But I want to try aim this to be like a commercial game. Like I've been making games for a while now, but it's all been like learning projects or game jams or simple free games. I want to kind of put the bar myself here. I want the full game to be €5 and have it, I can have it go on sales, but there'll be a free demo where you can play one of the levels from the start menu. So yeah, that's Monsta Choppa so far. Next video I'll kind of expand on some of the menus, the UI I've got done. I have like localization and cool audio stuff working. And hopefully I'll have more of the combat progress and maybe a sample level. But yeah, if you're interested, subscribe, follow along. Let me know if you have any ideas, what you think. I'm hoping this turns into kind of like a fun little casual thing. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.